Video 4 of how to create a Excel file to do a network, and we pretty much finished the parameters calculation, and now I'm going to show you how to do the Gantt chart in this video. It's really simpler than what you think. Down this side we simply list the activities. So we put if it's on the critical path, I put a dash add dash CP. Okay, that's why you see this ECP. So if network K4 is equal to 0, then I put concatenate dash CP on it. Otherwise, just put network C4. So concatenate dash CP to the name, the activity name, if it's on the critical path. That's what this is doing. So, and that's if if K5 is equal to 0. So let's see if network K5 is K5 slack equals 0. So pretty easy. So there I get my network names are down this left side in this column. And let's see how we do this. I've numbered across the top 1, 3, 3, 4. What am I doing here? Say put 1, and I got some. If D4 to D1004 is not equal to nothing, put a 1, else 0. This is an array formula, and it's summing up column D. So sums if D is not equal to nothing, put a 1, all right? So that just sums up how many rows here in column D aren't equal to nothing. And then there's, of course, there's 3. So the if statement, it's going through each member of this range and doing that if statement. So it found in D, and it's going from D4. So 4 was blank, it didn't find anything there. If it's not blank, it puts a 1. So you got there's 1, and then here's another 1, meaning you have 3 that aren't equal to nothing, and it puts a 1 for each of those. So you sum up those 3 ones, and you got 3, and that's where that comes. That's simply telling the number of rows in that are in that column. So now let's see how we do this. Now, by the way, every cell in here has this formula. Okay. Let's look up here. There, that should be it again. And so we can just, once we get that formula, we can just copy all the way through as far as we go to the right. And there's finish. And it did put, oh well, actually finish starts at the end at 75, see. It's at 76, but that's not right. Okay, so now let's see what this equation does. So if it's equal to finish, and B5, CP, D3 is equal to network, finish CP, that's taking care of the finish one. And then if and B5 is equal to start, and start dash CP, and D3 is equal to 0, then you put start CP. Now we've only got that right here and right here. So that takes care of the start and the finish CP. But the rest of it is done by this statement, and that whole rest of the table. So we say if and C3, now C3 is a 0. Let's start here. Let's start here. Oop, there we go. If and D3, which is this 1, is greater than network G5, and 5 is going to be the G is the, remember, is the, and that's the early starts, yeah. So if D3 is greater than the early start, so if this 1 is greater than the early start, and it's less than H5 is the early finish, then we put B5 in, which is the activity name. Okay. So that's what all this. So let's look at this one now. Maybe that make more sense. If and G3 4 is greater than the network, the early start, we put that in, right? And of course, it is 4 is greater than the early start of E2. Let's see, early start of E2 is 0. So let's see. So why doesn't it put it in here? Now let's see. For this one, it's less than H6. And it ended up putting the nothing. If it's less than H6, and H6 is 10, and it's not less than, it's 11. Okay? So that's the reason it did put a blank here. So that ended that copying over that name. And we do that for each one. And here's the names down this side. Now, so now let's see what does the coloring. Okay. So let me see here. Conditioning format. Highlighted cell rows. Man, I don't remember which one I did, but greater than. Maybe it was a greater than? No, it wasn't greater than. Less than. Text that contains. Maybe that's it. Nope. I'm figuring out which one of these did I use. How about more rules? Maybe I did more rules. Anyway, I used this. And you see all the rules you can have for it. Let's see. Conditional formatting. Highlight cell. I'm highlighting the cells. Let's see, man, let's go to manage rules. Maybe there we go. So cell value contains fin. So that's a finish one. Applies to 4 to 1004. Here it contains start 3 to 1004. This is when I had the spreadsheet good for 1,000 activities. And let's see. If it contains an E, I do the purple. See the different colors? And then on down, it contains an E. If it contains an M, right. Well, that's how I did this format, the color codes, and that's how we did the letters designations, activity designations. And let's see how this looks. And it goes all the way down to is it P10 dash critical path. P10 critical path. And there's finish in row 33. There's finish critical on the critical path. All right, I think that shows there's the cell formulas again. They're all the same. Somehow you hit the button wrong and you go all the way to the end. So, I think you see that formula, this formula. Like that's different. And E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6. So, let's see, E7 must be way over there. There it is, E7 right here. Now we're past the end. So anyway, that's how you do the Gantt chart. It's really a lot simpler than what you would think. And in the next video, we'll work on the crashing.